Hello, my beautiful badasses. How are you guys today? Because I am feeling pretty good. It's taken me a whole week to record this because I kept going back and forth about what I wanted to talk about, how emails can be your gold mine. And I finally decided that we're going to talk about 5 email truth bombs. Okay. So my name is JKN. I am your funnel badass. I'm here to help you find the holes in your funnel without losing sleep, without losing time. I want you to save time and money so that you can be out doing the things that you want to do and work less, because we all want to work less, right? And make more money. It's the goal. Anyway, let's get started because this is probably, knowing how I go on and on and on, it might be more than 10 minutes and I want to keep it short and sweet. So number one, the number one email truth bomb: quality over quantity. What does that mean? So I know personally, it has been in the back of my head for a long time that I needed a huge email list, right? This is the only asset that you control. It's yours 100%. You tell people what you want to tell them. You send to them as often as you want to tell them, and nobody can take your email list from you, right? So as business owners, we get this in our head that we need a giant, huge list. And that's not true. In fact, last year, I was doing some giveaways to build an email list, and it was fantastic. It had great response. But did I convert any of those people from my giveaway into JKN fans? So here we are. We want to focus on bringing the right people into our email list so that we can convert them. Another great example, if you have done any training with Elise Michelle, she tells you straight up that she only has 400 YouTube subscribers. She is a YouTube expert. And do you know that she makes sales from YouTube every single week because she understands it's quality over quantity? Okay. So that's truth bomb number one. Number two, it's okay to leave people out. And this has two different things. A, it is okay to kick people off your list. I kind of said something about this earlier in the week. You are the gatekeeper. If you have a negative Nancy in your realm, you don't have to invite them to leave, show them the door and say goodbye, Felicia. Okay. That's the first thing. Second thing, you may be somebody that is doing all kinds of things. You have, let's use me as an example, right? Like when I'm talking about funnels, we know that it's a process, but maybe I'm focusing on landing pages today. And next week I'm talking about emails, which is actually true. So I might only send an email to people that I know right now are interested in email templates, email help, email training, whatever that looks like, and leave out people that are previously or more interested when I talk about like the giveaways, right? How to grow your list. That's maybe not a good example, but you understand what I'm saying. You do not have to send your emails to every single person on your list. It's important to segment as much as possible. So every time somebody opts into one of my freebies, they get a tag, so that I know what they're interested in or what action they've taken. My VIPs, they all have VIP tags. Where I met somebody, they have a tag that's specific to how our relationship started. And then based on the goal of my email, I know who to include in that send list. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, drop a comment below. Tell me, actually, since now I'm in this like 4 minutes, what your biggest struggle with the email process is so that I can incorporate that into the training that I'm doing at We Meet Wednesday on, I don't know, the 30th, the 23rd. I don't know what day it is. It's not next Wednesday, but the next one. So keep that in mind. But truth bomb number 3, how do you talk to your email list, right? My rule is talk to them like you're talking to your BFF. Okay. If you're going to have a conversation with somebody, if I call Lynette Williams up on the phone, which by the way, I don't call people on the phone, but if I was going to call her on the phone and I said, hey, I am doing a webinar. Why am I talking like that? Hey, if I'm doing a webinar because I want to make a point. That's what, let's go back to that voice. Hey, I'm doing a webinar on Tuesday that's about funnel mapping. And then also I am doing another webinar for realtors on Thursday. And I just wanted to let you know what was available to you. First of all, and that's going to be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's true. She's totally going to say that to me. They're not going to read it. They're not going they're not going to pay attention and they're going to be like, what is going on with you? Right. So when you are sending an email, be you, be authentic, talk to them in a way that they're going to appreciate. Talk to them about the things that they like. The example that I gave you is because I had an email template, a newsletter template set up to specifically tell my list the events that I had coming up in the next week. And do you know what? Yes, there were some people that were interested in those events, but it was so impersonal. That's not true. I did put a little bit of my flair in it, so that was good. But who really cares about the schedule coming up? I mean, I quit doing the newsletter, by the way. So now I'm just sending straightforward emails. If I want to share something with my list, I'm just going to tell them a story. I'm just going to talk to them like they're my BFF, and we're going to go about our day, and hopefully they'll continue to open my emails because I'm talking to them like a person, not like Target telling you the items that they just added to their clearance rack or whatever that looks like. I hope that makes sense. If it didn't, drop your questions below. That's a little weird, I know, because there's so many different gurus saying you should do this in your emails and you should do this in your emails. Listen, what I'm saying to you is how I feel personally and how I run my business, how I talk to people in emails. And you may think I'm full of shit. That is totally okay because I am. Let's call it what it is. But I want to give you a different perspective. I want to tell you how people, you don't have to do everything everybody else says, right? And some of the things that I say are, say it with me, hashtag anti-trend. Let's get back on track. I have 3 minutes left and we are ready for truth bomb number 4. So here's something big. You need to test and you need to retest. I see this about any aspect of your funnel. You need to know what is working and what isn't working. That's how I knew that my people don't like the newsletter. And come on, I already said this. I use this a lot. Let's call it what it is. I don't really like to read newsletters. I skim them to see if there's anything that pops out to me as interesting, if I even opened the email to begin with, right? So when I made that realization, why would I want to open that? I quit doing it because I was testing. Okay. So another thing that you want to test is, everything. You want to test your subject lines. For instance, for the CBD company that I do marketing for, it took me a really long time to realize that even though I had killer subject lines, the open rate for those marketing efforts didn't go up until I started putting emojis in every single subject line. It doesn't matter how great. I have a fantastic open rate across the board on all of the companies and any emails that I send out. But with that one, it was 0 all the time, 0. So once I put emojis in, that open rate went up. So that's one thing that you want to test, your subject lines. You also want to test the copy. Do they react more if you put a video in there? Do they react more if you put a meme? Do they like the stories? Do they like short and sweet? You've got to figure out what gets them to take action. 2 other things that you want to test: what's your call to action? You might use the exact same copy in an email, but maybe your call to action, you test between sending them to a landing page or sending them to your webpage. Maybe you test different links. Are they going to click on a link if it's the actual link, or are they more likely to click on the link if it's hyperlinked in your text, which is what I prefer to do across the board. I don't ever put links. I always hyperlink the words, the copy, right, that it pertains to. If that doesn't make sense, drop a comment below and I will explain further or show you an example. Where's my time? I have 48 seconds left to make my goal. Are you still with me, friends? Drop a yes. I'm loving this if you're getting any gold nuggets from this training. But truth bomb number 5. This one's my favorite. Track that shit. Here's one of my favorite words, right? You got to know what gets their attention. Okay, like we're talking about the testing and retesting. If you're not tracking it, how do you know if your subject line is working? How do you know what links are working? The other thing that you really need to pay attention to, because this has thrown me through a loop the last week for one of my clients, you also have to pay attention to deliverability. Okay. There's a lot of tech associated with sending out emails that you probably don't know about, right? You are using MailChimp, you're using MailerLite, whatever the system is, and you assume that it's set up correctly you assume that the platform did it for you, right? Not true. You need to take extra steps to make sure that your domain is verified. You sometimes need to add extra records to your DNS records. Here's what happened to me. And so be looking for this. And the reason why you need to track what the deliverability rate of your emails are, because I, with another client, sent 3 different emails. It was a 3 email campaign to a list of 9,000 people. Email 1 and 2 had a 100% deliverability. Okay. That means that it's a clean list. Nobody was bouncing. No problems. Every single person I sent it to, they got it. Okay. No bounces. I might have said that. I might have not. The 3rd email in the campaign shut my entire email platform down, and nobody knows why. I actually had to reach out to support and be like, can you tell me why? Because I don't see a reason why. And they're still working on it actually to this day. Today's Friday, a week I've had this problem. So I have backup systems in place so that I can still be emailing for that client, but it's a giant pain in the ass. And from a client's perspective, if you can't tell them the answer, that's a problem, right? So here I am stuck. I'm like, I know this is a problem. We're working around it. I can't tell you how to fix it yet. So that's just a short story why you need to know also your deliverability, and there's stuff in the back end that you may need help with. Okay. So based on these 5 email truth bombs, which one screams to you the most? Which one do you feel like A, you didn't even know was a thing, or B, you're like, oh, thank you. It takes a huge weight off of your shoulders. I want to know in the comments. Also, let's schedule a coffee chat because I want to hear where you're struggling in email. I'm doing a free workshop. Like I said, I don't even know what day that is, but I will put it in the comments. I'll put it in the copy of this video. And then there's a paid workshop in my Funnel Vision coming up. I know that date is May 30th. So hopefully you'll save your seat for that. We're going to have a lot of fun. And that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for spending, I think we're at like 11 minutes now, but tell me what you are taking away most from this training, and I will see you soon.